Welcome to Caribbean Brilliance, where we highlight the contribution of Caribbean Americans in hope that they will tell their story and it will inspire and empower the present and future generation. I am your host, Mss Francois, MSS for multi-talented and super sexy. And today, our guest is, well, this one is a Jamaican. You see the flag? So they always have to have like 2-3 names in one. Shauna-Kaye Brown. She is a speaker, author, a lawyer, and not any regular coach. She's a Christian Transformation Coach. Hi, Shauna-Kaye.
Hi.
Yeah, why all you like to add extra names? It's not Shauna, it's not Kaye. Why Shauna-Kaye?
As my mom, I mean, as soon as I introduce myself, someone can guess I'm Jamaican.
Exactly. Always that hyphen. So all the stuff we're going to talk about, I want to know how much of an influence does you being in Jamaica play in your life today?
Wow, that's such a loaded question,
Oh
Ms.
Lord,
Francois.
we need 30 minutes.
Yes, and I'll be cognizant of that. But I would say, if I were to sum it up, I would say being raised in Jamaica and coming here at such a late stage, what really has impacted my life from the inception until now is what my mother ingrained in me, which is that tenacity and that resilience, that no matter what you experience or what you go through, there's always a way for you to overcome it. And one of the things that has really stayed with me throughout my life, which is why my friends always say, Shauna-Kaye, you love schooling, is that when we were growing up, because we grew up poor, Mommy would always say the only way out of poverty is through an education.
Wow.
And so I've always looked for an outlet to learn and learn more, because I felt like that was always my opening growing up to the next level or to the next opportunity. And so it was never a situation where I'm looking at what others are doing and saying, I want to do that too. It's never that. I just always knew since I was about 4 or 5 years old that education is always going to open a door for me.
Wow.
So I would say, if anything, that's the main thing that I've taken with me from being raised in Jamaica with a mother who saw the value in that, and it has stayed with me today. And that's why I'm a lifelong learner today as well.
Beautiful. So like with that, right, is you being in Jamaica for so long, is coming to America was a dream, was a goal? Were you forced to be here? Like some people like me, I was forced to be here, people.
And I wanted to experience that. I wanted to have an opportunity to explore and be open to more experiences that I probably would not have had at home. So initially that was the driver behind me wanting to come here, because I saw it as a gateway for me to get some more chances or some more opportunities to expand and spread my wings. And that was the impetus for me coming here initially. I am really happy that I came, because of all the over 190 countries.
So this is what I want to pause with you immigrants. You'll come here saying, you know, you had hopes, you know, you believe what people must have told you. But most of us come here and we have a struggle story. Yeah. So tell me something where you had to struggle or a challenge that you had to overcome. Just because you're looking all nice in your green and the pearls around your neck, this is not always who you were. You had to grow into this person. So tell me of a struggle to let people, so you know, they could see themselves in you. Because right now someone might be looking in Jamaica like, I'm poor. America seems so far away.
But I've had to overcome being homeless. I didn't know what that was like being home in Jamaica. I had a nice apartment, you know, that was affordable. Coming to the big America where all the opportunities are. Homelessness, me?
Right.
I didn't know how to navigate that. So that was one of the major challenges that I've had to work on. And, you know, God has a sense of humor, because I ended up working with the homeless for the past 10 years. How ironic. Right. Sometimes your experiences, no matter how dim they may be, can open the door for something greater and more meaningful. Another thing that I've had to overcome is just having to make that career pivot. As you mentioned earlier, I'm an attorney, I'm a lawyer from Jamaica, and I came here with the idea I'm going to come to America, take the bar, and become a big corporate lawyer.
We have these dreams and we see it. And then you come here and you're like, what, this is not what I thought it was going to be.
Reality, I know, from waiting tables to, like I said before, being homeless, to starting from the bottom again, and having to understand that, yes, America is a land of opportunity, but don't come with the idea that it's going to be handed to you.
You got to put in some work.
You're going to have to put the work in, yes.
So, like you mentioned, your mother being a big influence. Do you have any other woman that you look up to that might have been an influence in at any stage from Jamaica to now?
There are many, but if I were to choose one, it would have to be my eldest sister. She's the first child for my mom as well. And even though we are about 9 years apart, to a large extent, she was like my second mother. Because when my mom was away trying to make a living for the rest of the children, she had to take charge. And she was very strict.
Yes.
She was very strict. You couldn't believe it's just 9 years because it was 5 siblings.
Right.
And then she's the 6th one and she's taking care of everybody. So of course she was modeling everything that mommy did.
Yeah.
And I've seen her overcome so much.
Wow.
Today, to go back to school after having her children and getting a college education. Today, she's the author of 2 children's books, to navigating raising a neurodivergent child when we didn't know anything about that growing up.
Right.
This is the first child of such in our family, very special boy, and seeing my sister just...
You mentioned lifelong learning, so forth and so on. So when people look at your resume, right, and even you deciding was a lawyer or go through, take the exam, whatever, a lot of times when the past generation wants so much for the next generation, your child, right? When you pursued the lawyer aspect of things, was that a choice? Because every Caribbean immigrant parent, lawyer, engineer, doctor, nothing else. So was that your choice?
Listen, it was...
Look me in the eye.
I'm struggling with it because you know what? I fell into the cliche. It was, if you become a lawyer, people are going to see you a certain way. It was never a situation where growing up, I always knew I wanted to be a lawyer. Right. So a lot of people, when you hear them, I used to hear my classmates saying, oh, this is my dream. And they'll show you their yearbook and you'll see it there.
Yes.
Me, I didn't know what I wanted. I wanted to be a fashion designer.
Oh,
you know, and I was designing clothing and my mother would make them for me because she was a seamstress as well. I really didn't know. I just knew that I wanted to help people and I wanted to make a difference in the world. And one of the things that I've realized after going through the entire process of becoming a lawyer and all of that is sometimes you have to lose yourself to find yourself.
Oh, wait. We have to pause and repeat that so everyone can hear. Repeat.
Sometimes you have to lose yourself to find your true self. Okay, I modified it. And what I mean by that is I thought after finishing all of the studies and graduating law school, being called to the bar in Jamaica, I was going to have this amazing feeling of accomplishment. And I waited and it didn't happen. And it was I would say it was anticlimactic what I experienced because at the end of it, I found myself in a deep state of depression that I'd never experienced before.
And someone would look at you like, what do you mean? You finished the bar, you about to do amazing things, you're young, so much ahead of you, and you're like, depression.
Which, by the way, compounded it. I'm glad you said that because I didn't have a lot of people I could talk to who would have understood. They would have probably thought I was being really ungrateful.
Right.
So I couldn't even talk about it, but I knew what I was feeling. Something was missing, and I didn't know what it was. So my trajectory coming to America looking for an opportunity, I'm so grateful that I came. And I'm glad that this country allowed me to be able to explore and find my true reason for being here. It wasn't about becoming a lawyer or anything else. It was really about finding the outlet that I was going to use to impact people's lives.
So would you say you have found that in coaching? Because again, you're not a regular coach. Christian Transformational Coach. So how does, I'm going to be a lawyer, I'm going to feel this way, now I'm here in America, I thought this was going to be, and how does coach and Christian enter into that?
Well, I would say focus more on the transformation part of it. Some years ago, maybe 2 years into me being here, I just happened to be in a church service and it just happened that they were preaching and teaching from the book of Romans. And Romans 12 verse 2, which is a common verse we hear people talk about, it just jumped out to me. And it says, be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may know the good and perfect will of God. And it just hit a chord in me. And I had a realization in that moment that transformation is really an inside-out process.
Yes.
And one of the reasons a lot of people are stuck is that they haven't done that inner work, which is why I intentionally chose transformation. Because a lot of people, you might say, why don't you do this? And you're lazy, or we find adjectives to judge them, not realizing that for myriad reasons, they're stuck, and that transformation, that deep work needs to take place, which is how I help people. Because as I was mentioning earlier, a lot of people are just existing. And I ask that question to my clients a lot. Are you living or are you just existing? And some people, it's a hard question to answer, and because it forces them to really
Pause and think right?
about, self-assess.
And reflect, yeah.
What am I really doing? And it pushes you to go beyond what is comfortable. Sometimes what is comfortable is okay. You can live a comfortable life. And some people say, I don't want to be rich. I just want to be comfortable.
You know what, I also see, like you said, reflecting, and I realized recently that we don't ask ourselves enough questions, and even when you ask, we don't answer it. And I realized that recently, like all these years, you know, I'm only 25, but if we really spend time asking and answering some questions, we can be so much further along, right? Because sometimes even when you go to a simple job interview and someone said, tell me about yourself, you're like, well, and you start and it's about you.
Exactly.
So it's amazing. Like, so let's talk about, well, since we're into transform nations now. So it has to do with that Bible verse in church, and you just got up and said, okay, I need to start helping people. I'm going to have a business. Because people hear business and like, wow, you went and some people want to start a business. And then year 2, year 5, and year 10, they still want to start a business. But you decided you were going to start Transform Nations now. Like, how did that come about?
Well, I would say that it's an amalgamation of things that led to that ultimately. During the pandemic, I went to a conference in Florida, and
so during the pandemic, you was out and about?
Oh, yeah. I was doing what I was allowed to do within the confines of the law now. Okay. Don't forget that. But I went to a conference in Florida, and actually I didn't come up with the name by myself. My coach at the time, she helped me after I shared my ideas and what I felt like I wanted to do, and we brainstormed together, and she said, that sounds like transforming nations, because I told her that I felt like I was called to the nations of this world.
Oh, you know she got to get 10% now, right?
Yes. But yeah, so that's how it came about, because I felt like it is a good representation of what I do, helping people to transform their lives. But it's not just a person. You ever hear people saying, if I could just reach one person? Stop with the false modesty. They're lying, okay? Just stop lying. None of us want to just reach one person. Not when you have 7 point something billion people. I want to reach as many people as possible. I'm only here for so long. Yeah. Why am I trying to reach one person? That's like getting the talent and burying it. I'm not about that.
I like that, because, you know, sometimes you hear all these things and we all just pass on a saying, I want to have my cake and eat it too, and all these things. And sometimes when you pause, you're like, yes, I want my cake and I want to eat it. Like, should it spoil? So sometimes we need to pause and be like, yeah, you hear that all the time. Just want to reach one person. You're like, yeah, that's nice. But no, that's awesome. So this is what I want to talk about, because since even talking to you before interviewing you, you do a lot. If someone really read your full bio, it's exhausting. Right? In a good way, but it's exhausting. Some people can't even do one thing, much more for the multiple things that you're doing, because you're an Amazon best-selling author. Like, where do you find the time?
Well, that's a good question, and there's so many ways I could answer it, but Ms. Francois, given the constraint that you've given me with this time thing, here's the thing. I don't think I do a lot. And the reason I say that is the more I learn is the more I realize I don't know. The more I do is the more I realize my capacity to do even so much more. The truth is that most of us are living way below our potential and our capacity. And we've resigned ourselves to a life of mediocrity, saying that I'm doing great here. Why stop there? And I'm not talking about going about life in a frantic way, going after more. Amassing more material things are not going to make you purposeful. I am talking about that introspection and self-assessment we talked about earlier, and really digging deep to see that there is so much more that you can do. There's so many people waiting to be impacted by the work that you're doing now, that you're about to do. And if you sit down and be complacent and say, well, I have a family and I have this to do, so I can't do more, it's a travesty. Because what happens to those people?
Yes.
They're waiting for you, Ms. Francois.
This is a whole sermon.
They're waiting.
So I want to make sure we definitely mention your book. Your last book is called Christian Leadership Blueprint, and it's the purpose-driven guide to personal and spiritual transformation. How many books do you have in all?
I have 5 books.
5 books, and this is the last of the 5 books. This is the last one.
Yes.
So far, because you know you're going to find time to do more, right? And what is your hope for this book compared to all the other books that you have written?
My hope for this book is to go back to the source, to help people to go back to the source. Leadership, a lot of people lead from a place of position. And as a result, like John Maxwell says, they become positional leaders, meaning that people follow what they say because of their title. People do what they say because they're afraid of consequences. I don't want to be written up. I don't want to face the consequence of possibly losing my job and that sort of thing. Those things have their places. That's why we have HR policies and so on, and the labor law and all of that. But more than that, leadership is influence, like John Maxwell says. And in order for you to understand the deeper part of it, the central theme throughout the book is about the servant within you. As a leader, you have to learn how to serve people. That's why the book of God, the Bible says, the greatest among us shall be our servant.
So you hear that a lot, right? Serving others. But some people are like, well, I do serve and I help others, but they take advantage. Like, what would be the middle ground? Because everybody, when you say something, sometimes it means different things to different people.
That's true. But what I would say is the middle ground, before you even get to the middle ground, is your mindset about it. Are you doing something so that you can get something in return? If your purview on life is always about a quid pro quo, what can I get for what I'm doing, then it's a limited vision of yourself and other people, and also of the impact that you can make. It's not about what they can do for you or how grateful they are. First of all, the glory belongs to God, not you.
Amen. Thank God it's not Sunday.
Let your light so shine so people can see your good work and glorify God.
Yes.
Every time I'm around you, I see the light. I've sat in your workshop. I see you on social media. I'm here with you. And I just feel like I want to be my best because your light shines. That's what it's about. It's not about, oh, they're so ungrateful, I'm not going to do it again. You're trying to get the glory for yourself.
Yeah.
But the Word of God says when you do that, that's your reward. That's it. Game over. I don't want that reward. I can't stay.
I see why I needed a whole hour for you.
I told you.
So one thing, right? So there's always pressure to make it at all costs, right? How would you define what true success is? And I'm saying this also because we were like talking about this.
Yes.
How do you define true success?
Oh, I could come up with my own definition, and I have. But for the purpose of everyone else listening, I'm going to share a definition I've come across that resonates with me and is probably one of the best. And it's from Earl Nightingale.
Oh, wait. Oh, that's my favorite. That's my number one, dude.
Yes.
Okay, let me relax. Go ahead.
Yes. So Earl Nightingale, in The Strangest Secret, he says, success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal.
That's my favorite person. Remember when I said you like the top 5?
Yes.
That's my number one.
And it's one of mine too. That's crazy, right? So many similarities. But success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. I want you to let that simmer. Not you, but
Yes.
everyone who is listening to us. Because we live in a society where we're given a wrong idea as to what success is. And so we look at, I would say, results of having a successful life and think that that is a success. So gaining the money and the material possession, it's almost collateral. It's just a result of being successful.
Right.
But when you are progressively realizing something that is worthy to you, that when you wake up in the morning, you're happy that you get the opportunity to continue to work on this, that is success. So the man or the woman who is teaching because that's what they feel drawn to do,
Yes.
they're successful. The beautiful lady who is sitting here and interviewing all these Caribbean people and putting us on the world stage, you're successful. The money, the other stuff, it will come.
Yes.
Because you're walking in purpose. So anyone who is progressively realizing a worthy ideal is successful.
Beautiful. Girl, I think you said it better than Earl Nightingale.
No, thank you.
So, it's all the stuff you've been through thus far and where you come from, what is like one thing you would give someone, like who's a reflection of you coming here later in life compared to now coming here at 5 and going through some situation and just wanting to give up or maybe even want to go home? Knowing how far you have come, what advice would you give to that young Jamaican woman?
It's probably not what you're going to expect. Maybe you're expecting something very profound. But I'm going to share 5 words that have resonated with me, and as simple as it may sound and as often as you have heard it, believe it and keep it in the back of your mind and honor it. In his book, The Greatest Miracle in the World, Ogmendino shared these 5 words. You know what they are? If I were to leave anything with anyone who is listening, no matter what is happening, no matter what you're going through or what you've been through and how much you feel like I'm at the end of my rope, here's the thing. never, never, never give up. As simple as that. Because so many people give up at the 1 yard line. You know, we were talking about Think and Grow Rich earlier, and remember Napoleon Hill talked about the person who was 3 feet away from gold. You know what the travesty that is of all that digging? You spent the last 30, 40 years of your life digging, and you're now at a point where you think, you know what, nothing is coming of this, I may as well stop. I believe, just based on my experiences, that the moment you start feeling like after digging for 40 years, there's no way you could dig for 40 years and find nothing.
Yeah.
No story, no go so. You understand? So the moment you start getting that function to give up, just know you're close.
Just hold on.
Hold on just a little bit longer.
Because I've been there a few times. Like even this year, I was like, I'm over this. I'm done.
Listen.
And then certain things start to like open up.
Yeah.
But I see it. It takes a while, but just hold on. So more you feel that urge to give up is like this is when you're supposed to hold on, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
For over a decade that I've been in this wonderful country, maybe the greatest country that has ever been in terms of opportunities.
Yes.
After over a decade, you feel almost like you're at an impasse. Where do I go? And I'm telling you, for the length of time I've been here, we're in the 8th month of the year.
Yeah.
More has happened for me and in my life in these last 8 months than the entire time combined. It is phenomenal.
Isn't that crazy? Oh my God, this is just a reflection.
And it's just a reminder to me also that in divine mind, in where God is, time is not a linear thing. There's no time. And that's why the word of God says, to God, 1,000 years is a day, 1,000 years. So things can look like they're not happening, and in a split second, so much happens that you almost don't even know how to handle it.
Yes, you kept trying to keep up, like, oh my God.
Yeah.
When he was begging and hoping and wishing. But that's why I believe God needs all that time, needs you to have all that time so you can be ready.
Yes.
So when he started to give it to you can't say, Lord, oh my God, this is
I
too
can't
much.
handle it.
You're supposed to be like, okay, keep it coming in the back of your mind, like, let me figure out how to do this.
Yeah.
Because this is what you ask. So that's why they also be careful what you wish for. You know?
Yeah.
So in this particular moment, I wanted to make sure I give you your flowers, as they say, in the now, not 10, not 20 years, not a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, but now, because every step in your life, you continue to excel. So on behalf of Caribbean Brilliance, in recognition of amplifying Caribbean Brilliance, we thank you for your contribution. And this is for you. See, girl, your name on the cover and everything.
Number one. Thank you so much. Wow, this is beautiful. Thank you so much.
You're very well. I mean, actually get to. Yeah, I always say I make sure your name is on the cup so I can obviously give it to anyone else, right?
Yes. Thank you.
Before we're slowly coming to an end, but this is one of my best parts of Caribbean Brilliance. We're going to see how Jamaican are you. So the first thing, curry goat or oxtail?
Oxtail.
I'm not gonna say I hope you're not a vegetarian, because this will not be a good. So which one of these patois phrases best describe your vibe? And when you pick it, you have to tell me what does it mean. So is it Medea? Hopefully I ruin any of these. May soon come, big up yourself, or walk good?
Big up yourself, for sure.
And what does that mean to you?
Big up yourself is just a way to encourage people. You never know what a person is going through, but just to give them that reminder that I see you. Big up yourself. Just know that, it's going to get better. That's what it means to me.
Awesome. And lastly, name one thing every Jamaican household have.
Oh, geez. One thing every Jamaican household have. That one is tricky. Something Jamaican?
Yeah, like you typically, I'm sure a lot of Caribbean other places have it too. Because, sometimes because like in my household, we always had a coquille broom. Because I remember making a lot of those. So back then, we always had a coquille broom in the house. But that's one thing we always had.
Listen, you can deny it if you want. Or, we're in the 21st century. Everybody's going for the minimalistic look. Every Caribbean household has a break front with some plate when nobody can touch.
This is for the special occasion.
Yes, special occasion for the guests. If you break one, I'm sorry for you. So, yeah. The plates that no one can touch, they're only for special occasions.
I know.
Yes.
And in this moment, I just want to say, what is one thing you want to leave with everyone? And in addition to that, tell people where they can reach you, where they can DM you, however, so social media, so forth and so on.
One thing I want to leave with everyone, and I think I said it before, is no matter what you're going through, do not think that it won't get better. Because I've been to those points in my life where I thought that it can't get any worse and I couldn't see a way out. And then when I got to the point where I actually saw a way out, and I looked back and I said, wow, wonder what would have happened if I would have made a wrong decision. So I would say, do not make a permanent decision for a temporary problem.
I love that.
Yeah. So, you know, some people may think, let me just end it all or anything of
Yeah.
that nature. Just don't. That's permanent. You can come back from that, and just understand that whatever you're going through, it can get better. So instead of saying, why me, or why am I going through this? Look at it like this. Why am I going through this? What can I learn from it, and what's the purpose of it? Because if you miss the lesson, then when you get to the point when you're supposed to apply what you've learned, you're not going to be equipped, which means that you'd have gone 40 years in the desert for no reason.
Yeah.
So understand that every adversity that you face is for a reason, and it is preparing you for your next.
Because I know Oprah says every time something comes up, she always say, what has this come to teach me?
Yes.
And that's sometimes it's hard to say. But when, like, you know, you read a lot and you personal development, all these different things, I think it gets easier. So when certain things you do go through, even though it hurts, you're like, you take that breath and like, what has this come to teach me? And I think in every aspect, no matter how much time passed, you always could reflect back and be like, oh, I see why I had to go through this. I see why this needed to happen this way. And then I think you find the joy and you appreciate it
Yes.
even more.
Yes.
But not while you're going through it, people.
Not while you're going through it. I want to add one little thing. It
Yes.
just came to me, and I think it's very important, because you and I, we've read a lot, we have gone through a lot of experiences, so we're at a point where we can put things into perspective that way. But there are some people who haven't done any of that.
True.
And so when they come into those situations, they really don't know what to do. So when they decide, I'm going to isolate myself and then self-destruct, you might look and say, why would you do that? That's selfish. You don't understand that they weren't where you are.
Right.
So what I would say to just about anyone who may be going through this, don't isolate, find value in community. Build your
That's
community
big.
now, so that when you are in the situation, you know exactly where to go.
Yeah.
You know, find a trusted group of people. It doesn't have to be a big group, 2 or 3
Yeah.
people who you know that these are people who are going to empower you and lift you up. It's very
Yes.
important, building your community.
And listen, not the one that always trying to solve your problem and tell you, look for a man to solve it. Don't do it. So tell people where they can reach out to you, contact you, so forth and so on.
Yes. Reaching out to me on all social media platforms is Shauna-Kaye Brown Speaks, and you'll find me on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all the
places. Social media that matters.
Yes.
Okay, so with that said, thank you so much, Shauna-Kaye, for blessing us with your presence and dropping them gems, diamonds, platinum. It was a lot, right? But I hope this show was definitely a blessing to me, so I hope it was a blessing to you. And as always, I am your host, Mss Francois. You can check me out on all the relevant social media. And with that said, until we lime again, continue to empower each other.